So doctors Julie Boger's, Christopher Gable, and Judith Owens explain what early school start times do to high schoolers in the Journal of Developmental and Behavioral Pediatrics. In January 2014, they state that chronic insufficient sleep has become a virtual epidemic among adolescents in the U.S. My friends and I are part of this epidemic. We find that studying together allows us to do better on our tests and quizzes, but it has its negative impacts. We have to stay out late studying, meaning we don't get home until 10 or 11 o'clock at night because we all have jobs after school or extracurriculars that cause us to not be able to meet right after school to study. So when we study together, we have to stay out super late, and that just results in us falling asleep in class the next day or just being miserable, although it does help with the test in the long run. So I'm going to explain why we should push back school, why we need to move back the high school start time. It's not just, so kids can sleep in. It's because kids aren't getting the recommended of 8 hours of sleep a night, and it's negatively impacting their academic performances and their health. We need to push it back because kids need to sleep. They end up falling asleep in class, which they miss material then, and they become moody and have bad attitudes. And these are just things that are caused because they're so tired they can't focus. There's also been more car accidents because kids are drowsy and they're driving, and these can be fatal. They can result in life-changing injuries, such as this crash that happened. It resulted in life-changing injuries because they were just tired. If they had pushed the school start time back, there's a good chance that these kids wouldn't have fallen asleep behind the wheel, and they wouldn't have these injuries that are still impacting them today. It also affects kids' health, their mental health, their cardiovascular health, and obesity. Not getting enough sleep can have negative impacts on all of these. As this diagram shows, as your weight goes up, your heart has to work harder. And when your heart's working harder, you need more rest. And when you're not getting the recommended amount of sleep already, that just makes your heart work harder, causing you to be at higher risk for cardiovascular disease that can be fatal, which also causes you to have a higher chance of becoming obese, which then takes a toll on the heart. So it just impacts each other back and forth. And it's not hard to push back the start times. It's just something that we've been talking about forever, it seems like, and we're just procrastinating it, basically. Students drive to school, so that eliminates a lot of kids right there that you have to worry about transportation-wise. And something as simple as switching elementary and high school times could be done. Elementary school kids tend to have more strict rules because they're younger, so they go to bed earlier, and they already get up earlier just naturally. And if they're already up when we're going to school, they need to just switch the time so we can continue to sleep and they can just start school when we should be. So imagine happier and refreshed kids like these ones. They're happy to be there. They have less chance at mental illnesses. There's less obesity, less cardiovascular diseases, less car accidents, and there's better academic performance. These kids want to be there. They want to learn and they want to succeed. And it's not that ones don't want to in the beginning, but these kids are getting the recommended amount of sleep, causing them to just feel better. So doctors Berger, Troxel, and Windom speak about the sleep and mental health impact that one another have on each other in the current sleep medicine reports from June of 2018. They state that the schools that have pushed back their start times have had significantly less kids with mental health issues. This is significant. Mental health issues are becoming more and more, not popular, but more common these days, and they're not good. They cause so many deficits in the students. And something that we need to do is just push back the school start time. This allows you to get more sleep. It allows kids to do better in school. They wake up, they're ready to learn, they want to do their best. It allows them to then go and participate in work, sports, clubs, any extracurriculars, and still do studying and still feel good the next day. It results in more sleep, which results in less crashes. And more sleep also means you have better physical health, so less cardiovascular diseases, less obesity, and better mental health, so less anxiety, less depression, less suicide. All these things would be life-changing in the high school world. So we just need to push back the time and stop procrastinating it.